Hiroshima, everybody. Today, we are going to be going over my personal top 5 favorite shotguns in Call of Duty Zombies. These are by no means the best shotguns. If you're looking for that list, 1,000,001 other YouTubers have done it. But these are going to be my personal top 5 favorite to use shotguns in Call of Duty Zombies. So with that being said, let's get into the video. Coming in at number 5, we have the Brecci from Black Ops 3. Now, this thing is kind of like the middle ground of shotguns in that game. Like, it's semi-automatic, so it doesn't have the pump of the KRM, or it's fully automatic version, the Haymaker. So you're not blowing through ammo like crazy. But it does have, like, a pretty decent amount. Again, it's semi-automatic, so it's pretty fun to use just to, like, kind of dap them off as you're going through. And yeah, it doesn't really do anything wrong. One thing I would recommend is getting this thing upgraded, the Stellar Speech, or Screech, or whatever it's called. But yeah, it's a lot more fun. Like, obviously it's gonna have more damage because it's upgraded, but I personally feel like it has like a better, it's like when it's upgraded they kind of have this like cool little explosion thing too. And yeah, just get a little bit of double tap, some speed cola, and you'll be having a good time with this thing. My favorite map to use this thing on is Shadows of Evil. Like, I think it looks great with the camo. Like, the enemies on the map, just, you know, even the Easter egg. Like, it's kind of just, you know, really good for a bunch of different scenarios. But yeah, that's my personal opinion. It's great on a lot of other maps, but I think it truly shines on this one. And for that reason, it comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we got the Argus from Black Ops 3 again. Now, this is the gun that I was waiting for the first 3-4 games. Like, I wanted a lever action so bad, and I am glad we got it. I wish it would have happened and buried with, you know, like a Winchester 3030 or something, but we got the Argus anyway. So this thing, it kind of sucks, not gonna lie, but I just think there's something so satisfying about the lever action and just the, you know, use a slug so you can get a little bit further damage on it and everything. But yeah, it is by no means good at all. Like, if you're trying to do an Easter egg or whatever, I wouldn't recommend having this thing. But for what it is, I think it's a great addition, and I find it fun to use. Just, you know, trying to get headshots, whatever. Definitely make sure you're getting some double tap on this thing, because with the lever action, it's 1x1, so you definitely want to get that thing, like, you know, pumping shots out as quickly as possible. Speed cola isn't really necessary. Like, it has a pretty fast reload, not gonna lie, but other than that, though, like, I wouldn't say it shines on any other map. It's just kind of a fun little addition that they included. So with that, it comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, we have the Olympia, specifically from Black Ops 2. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, this thing sucks. It's a starting weapon. And you're right. It did suck. But Black Ops 2 beefed up double tap and created double tap 2. And oh my goodness, double tap 2 with this thing pack-a-punched is so much fun to use. Now, the unpacked version already, like, it aesthetically, like, it is probably one of the most beautiful guns that they introduced into the game. Like, they kind of detailed it a little bit more in the second game in Black Ops 2. But yeah, it is a beautiful looking gun. And specifically on die rise with that pack-a-punch camo, like, it made this thing look beautiful. Now, getting away from looks, going into statistics and whatever, this thing has the Dragon's Breath shells, which I don't know if they actually do more damage or not, but it is so cool. Like, when you take out a zombie or whatever, it's just like a ball of flame. Like, that's one of my favorite things about it. And this thing, like, could legitimately carry you into the 30s. Like, on die rise, which again is where I think it shined the most, if you're doing that camping strategy up on the roof, like, I will genuinely run this thing. Like, I have so much fun doing it. Like, it's a powerhouse. Like, it'll take you to 30, no problem. Since it is a double barrel, definitely make sure you guys get some speed cola on this thing, because obviously you're gonna be reloading a lot. If you're on a map that has electric cherry too, I think it's only on Mob of the Dead, make sure you're running that too, so you can take advantage of, you know, all the reloads and the electric shock or whatever. But yeah, like with that, it comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2, we have the Haymaker. Now, statistically, this is probably the best one, but I'll get into those reasons why it's not number 1 a little bit later. So what I love about this thing is it's extremely overpowered, but it's not overpowered to the point where it's like not even fun to use. Kind of like the Apothecary Servant. This thing, it's just like you're caught in a corner and you have this thing like double papped, and you just hold that trigger down and spray in both directions, like you're gonna be fine. Like that's how good this thing is. Like it's good for every single map. Like I can't think of any specific map where it wouldn't be good on. Like it's great to have during an Easter egg, like for boss fights and stuff where you're trying to take out special enemies and all that. And yeah, it's just great in any scenario really. One thing about this thing though is like I don't like it when it's non-upgraded. Like I need to have this thing upgraded, which you probably shouldn't be having a shotgun till later on in the rounds, just because like it's bad for points and setting up and all that stuff. But yeah, if you could get this thing upgraded, like oh man, you're gonna be having a good time. And it has like it looks really good with a lot of the camos too. My favorite one was in Revelations, that like little cosmic like bluish purple one that you see in the footage. But yeah, man, like this thing is well-rounded gun for sure. And with that comes in at number 2. Coming in at number 1 is the trench gun from World at War. Now, this thing kind of hits home for me. Back in the day, everybody used to run this thing with some kind of like wonder weapon or some kind of LMG. Reason for it is it was incredible against the dogs. But that is not the reason it made number 1. Now, the World at War engine had this, it's really hard to explain, but it had this very like gritty kind of feeling to it. And out of all the guns I think there was on that game, this one it just felt the most satisfying, like everything about it. The sound, the freaking, like the blood splatter, like everything about it, like just it felt perfect to me, and it was my favorite thing to use in that game. Like every single map, like I would rock this thing, and you know, like it was just a staple. Like everybody used this thing. And then especially in Doris too, when they brought the Pack-a-Punch or whatever, and like they had the gut shot come out. Oh man, that was a whole new ball game right there. Like double tap was super useful on this thing. Like you get the shells cocking whatever faster, speed cola too, and it had that little like double reload thing, the double reload feature. But yeah, man, like it was just the feel, the rawness of it, like the grittiness that just made this thing what it was. And with that, I know there's a little bit of nostalgia factor, but it's just the feel, man. With that, it comes in at number 1.